There's another universe. Please make some noise.
Hey my little raggedies, what is up? How are we doing? How are you feeling? If you are new here, I am Rena Swan, aka Big Raggedy, aka your new book bestie. If you are coming back, then welcome back. Don't you love it here? Right, me too. I love you guys. So I read 14 books in June, and that was a lot, but I had a good time. I read a lot of good things. So we're just going to talk about them. I'm going to start from my very first read in June to my very, very last pick that I read literally on the last day of June. Not in one sitting, of course. No, never that. I'm not that girl. But yeah, so let's get into my first pick. So the very first pick, the very first read, the very first book that pissed me off is Hurricane Summer by Asha Broomfield. This is a book that I read with my book club, the official chapter chat over on Fable. Shameless plug. Head over there. Join us. I read this with the official chapter chat. And when I say we were all in there in our feelings, sad, boo-hooing, ready to throw them bows, ready to swing them things, we were so emotional and, and distraught over this book. If you have not read Hurricane Summer and you are looking for a book to destroy you and just mentally have you just in a daze for 24 hours, this is a book that you want to go with. So this is about Tilla and her little sister. They go to visit their father in Jamaica. And Tilla is not expecting much of anything from her raggedy ass daddy, but she goes and she's like, I'm just gonna try to make the best of it. And that she tried, she really did. Given the circumstances, she really tried. But her daddy and his dusty ass family members just treated Tilla so poorly the entire time. Like literally. So read with caution, check the trigger warnings. And yeah, Asha is actually about to drop another book, or she has another book out. I don't know, but I'm like, Asha girl, are you gonna drag us through the mud and back and then dust us off like nothing happened the way that you did in this book? Because if that's your plan, I don't know if I want to sign up for it. But then again, I do, because yeah, this book was really good. I think I gave it like a 4.5 stars or something like that. I don't know. Chapter 27 really pissed me off. I don't know, because I'm like, really? Did you really have to do that? But yeah, we're gonna move on before I get mad all over again. Okay, so the next book I read is Local Missing Woman. And the title is self-explanatory. It is what it is. So yeah, Shelby goes missing. Then Meredith and her 6-year-old daughter goes missing. Honestly, you guys, I believe I wrote a review on Instagram. So if you want my full thoughts on that, because it's a little foggy. If you want my full review, head over to Instagram. Now, if I didn't write a review, like I said, I don't even remember what happened last week. So how do you expect me to remember what happened 32 days ago? I'm just saying. So all I know is I think I gave this book 3 stars. It was okay. It wasn't a bad read. It just wasn't a read for me. I'm actually selling this on my Pango. I think I listed it for like $5. So if you want to go on my Pango and purchase this for me, you can. We're gonna move on. Okay, so next on my list is the book Shop Sisterhood. Now, this book was so promising. It had all the ingredients it needed. Okay, it had drama, it had mess, it had sisterhood, it had love, it had loss, grief, all of the things to keep the story going. But as the story kept going, you realize that they're not really good friends. And then you realize that there's a lot of stupid shit going on in here that I wouldn't do for real in real life. Like, it's just a lot of dumb decisions that are happening, and a lot of things that, you know, y'all are putting up with that you probably shouldn't put up with. Okay, so the consensus is that a lot of people did not enjoy this book because they were given the idea that this book would be a story of friends trying to start a business, running a bookstore, right? And that just was not at the forefront of the storyline. The storyline was centered around the different things that were happening in their lives, which was interesting. But after a while, it was like, okay, this is dumb. Like, this is ridiculous. So it started off really strong, and then it just fell off for me. I think I gave this like 3 stars or something like that. And I want to say I put this on my Instagram too. I gave my full thoughts on this on Instagram. Listen, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff going on between all these different apps. I'm on TikTok, here, Instagram, Discord, Fable. I don't know where I be posting stuff, okay? You just gotta follow all accounts, because sometimes I post stuff on one page and I don't post it on the other. I don't know. So next on the list is a book that I don't have in my possession, but it is called Keely, the Armstrong Bros Sable Ridge series. Now, this was supposed to be my introduction to cowboy romance. I told my friend, I'm like, look, I want to read a cowboy romance. She was like, yeah, let's do it. She found Keely, you know, the series. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It sounds interesting. But the writing was just very mid. And I'm like, I'm telling my friend, no shade, I'm like, listen, it took 2 people to write this, and it's a novella, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. It just abruptly ends with them at a fair, not even addressing all the shit that just happened. Leave me out of this shit. So I think I was generous. I gave it 3 stars. So you have Keely, his father passes away and leaves debt behind, you know what I'm saying? And it leaves his family in a bind. And not only did he leave debt behind, he low-key set his family up for failure. And the people came knocking at their door, like, look, this is what your daddy said, this is what your daddy said he was gonna do, this is what y'all owe us. We want what he said he was gonna give us. And so, given that storyline, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. So I wanted a little bit more action. I wanted a little bit more detail. I wanted the focus to be a bit more clear, because they threw in a love subplot that was okay, but at some point that kind of took over the whole novella, and I'm like, okay, there needs to be a little bit more urgency about what your father did, and you need to figure out how we can remedy this. If you want to try that out, don't say I didn't warn you, friend. Don't say I didn't warn you. It has a lot of good reviews, so it could be just me and my friend that didn't really gel with this book, but yeah, so we'll see. Next on the list, we have Angel of Greenwood. Now, this is a YA historical fiction about 2 teens falling for each other and getting to know each other during a race war. And I really thought that this whole book would be, you know, focused on the Tulsa race massacre, but really we got two teens battling back and forth about who was better, W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. Washington. And then we get to the end, and that's when stuff pops off with the Tulsa race massacre and all the things that was going on. And then the book ends. And so I wanted more. I would just say this is a YA love story that just happens to be centered during the time that the Tulsa race massacre took place. And yeah, if you like YA love stories that are appropriate, because I know a lot of us get the ick when, you know, but there was no ick in this book. It was really cute how, you know, things unfolded between the two main characters. So if that's your thing, definitely check it out. And yeah, things don't pop off to like the very, very end. So next on the list, we have Just for the Summer. This was a buddy read with my friend. This was a reread for her, but new for me. And I love this book. It had dry humor. It had some sad scenes, some really cute scenes where I was like, oh, that's just so adorable. Scenes where I was like, yes, I can relate. I tabbed this book down, okay? I loved this book. And what really pulled me to read this book was the dynamic between the main character and her mother, and the story that shows us like you do deserve good things. You know, good things can come to you if you allow it to. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to accept where you are right now and leave what has happened in the past. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to cut people off. It's okay to start again. It's okay to heal at your own pace, you know, and it's okay to allow people to love you. It's okay to open up and not push people away. So I feel like Abby conveyed that message really, really well. And I gave this 5 stars. So, okay. Next on the list, we have Jennifer Lewis, The Black Mother of Hollywood. Now, this is a book that just got thrown in my little TBR pile for the month. I was not expecting to read this at all. And I loved it. I tabbed this one too. And I did do some immersive reading with this because Jennifer's a comedian, okay? So just hearing her sing and speak and laugh and act out certain scenes, it was very lively, and I really appreciated her storytelling. When I say this lady was on that audiobook singing, she was singing and giving advice and talking about mental health and talking about her marriages and talking about the love of her life, talking about her daughter and, you know, some very tough things that she had to go through. And I did a video about this now that I'm thinking about it. So if you have not watched that video and you want to know my full thoughts, go ahead and watch that video. But yeah, and my sister just told me a story of meeting Jennifer Lewis a couple of years ago. They were in LA and they were like playing music in the car, and Jennifer Lewis just pulled up on them. She was like, "Hey y'all," and they were like, "Hey," and then she was like, "Y'all have a good day," and then she just drove off like nothing happened. And I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. Like, I imagine Jennifer always being like the excited to see you auntie. So it was really good to experience the audiobook and read along with it. But yeah. So next on the list, I have The Filling Station. I don't have this book either, but I will soon because I absolutely loved that book, okay? The Filling Station gave me everything that I wished Angel of Greenwood would have gave me. It not only set us up for the Tulsa Race Massacre to happen, but it also showed us the aftermath of how those people were able to build their lives again, how they were able to show up for each other and advocate for one another and really just support each other during the toughest times that those people have ever experienced. And I feel like we get a lot of stories about the Tulsa Race Massacre, but a lot of it is like, oh, they came and they burned down the town, the end. Whereas the filling station, they were like, look, this is the life we were living. This is, you know, everything we built, everything we dreamed of. This is our family. These are our kids. This tragedy happened. We don't know where to go from here. We're trying to rebuild, regain. The odds are stacked against us. We're still moving forward. We still standing on business. We still showing up and putting in work. We're starting to regain our confidence again. We're starting to regain hope. We're starting to move toward change. We're rebuilding everything we lost. We're almost at the finish line. We still have adversities. We still moving forward. We not backing down. We ain't giving up. We made it, bitch. What's up? Like, I love that story down because when I tell you, a lot of times we just get stories filled with so much pain and no healing. Like, what happened after? Like, you can't, like, yeah, I am heartbroken, but what happened after? You just gonna tell me this heartbreaking story and I don't know nothing about what happened after? And it was so crazy reading the filling station because I had just read the Angel of Greenwood. So while I'm reading the filling station, I'm thinking about these characters too, because I'm like, somewhere in this whole scene, you have these characters also fighting to, you know, help their community out. They're in the same world and all this is happening. And I'm like, dang, I wonder if, you know, my little silly self, I'm like, I wonder if they cross paths. Like, I wonder if they see each other. Like I was like really in the moment. And I love stories like that can really pull you in and really make you believe that you are there and you can feel for the characters. So y'all know I gave that 5 stars. So we're gonna move next on the list. I read Shattered Midnight, which is a part of a series. I believe it's interconnected, but you can also read it as a standalone. I just got this book because the cover is gorgeous. It's Danielle Clayton. Hey. So this is also an historical fiction that sets place in New Orleans. So the main character, she has a very unique sort of power. She can literally play in any instrument. She can sing the house down. Gorgeous voice. And this magic, this voice, this gift was passed down from generation to generation to generation. But if in trouble, in danger, distress, this magic can also be used as a weapon. So our main character, she does something back in her hometown in New York that causes her mother to send her to New Orleans to live with her aunt. And it starts off kind of like a Cinderella, evil stepsister, mean stepmama story, but her auntie and her cousin, they just weren't very nice to her. I didn't like that. As the story goes on, the main character discovers that she really loves the city of New Orleans. She loves the vibe, she loves the music, she loves all that jazz, and she meets a man who loves what she loves. But he's Caucasian. And, you know, they weren't allowed to date, marry, and all of those things. So that caused a bit of a stir. And as the story goes on, they both realize that his past and her past, they kind of intertwine a little bit. So they have to figure out like how they're going to maneuver through life, be in love, even though they're forbidden. They're not supposed to be, even though their families don't, you know, gel well together. So it was an okay read. I would say maybe read this maybe if you are a fantasy person or a person who likes the jazz era. I wanted a bit more magic from this story. I wanted it to play out a little bit longer. I feel like the times that our main character was in distress, we only got a little blip in the scene of her doing what she does. Then we're told of the aftermath of what she caused, like everything that she caused to happen. But we don't really get like a full drawn out scene of her using her magical abilities. And I feel like I wanted a little bit more of that. So keep in mind, this is YA. So I did get my little chubby fingers on the arc Night Watcher by Daphne Wollstonecraft. And I believe this comes out this month, but basically a radio host, her job is to listen to stories told by the callers of like hauntings, eerie things, cryptic messages. And so one day she gets a call that reminds her of a very fearful night for her. She escaped a serial killer, and this call reminded her of that night, and it started to make her feel like the killer is listening in to her call and might be coming back to finish what he started. So the story started off really creepy, really eerie. I'll just say I enjoyed it. I think I wrote a review on Instagram. So if you want to go over there and check, go over there and check to see if I did and what my thoughts were. But I gave it 4 stars, so I know I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. Next on the list, we have Burner by Mike Trigg. I wrote a review for this. I know I wrote a review for this on Instagram. So head over there, read the review. I'll just say I wanted more explosions. I wanted more excitement. I wanted more action. I'll just say that I gave it 3 stars. So if you are somebody who is into crypto and things like that, I think you would really like this book. Next on the list is Homeward. I read this with my Discord group, Raggedy Reads, and I gave it 4 stars. The story starts off really, really sad. Like, oh my God, everything is going wrong. So our main character, Rose, she is pregnant by a man that ain't her husband. Rose goes through a lot, and she feels like she's going through a lot because it's her karma for what she did for getting pregnant. This is a story that takes place during the civil rights era, and Rose, after tragedy, has to find herself and really come into her own and who she is, because Rose is only 21 in this book. So imagine going through heartbreak and grief at 21, and you're trying to put the pieces of your life back together, as well as navigate these racist ass streets of Georgia. So like I said, if you're not in the mood for a heavier read, I would stay clear of this. But if you like historical fiction, if you like stories of overcoming hardships, then I think you would enjoy Homeward. It does slow up in the middle of the story, but towards the end, it picks back up. So definitely check that out. Last on my list, no, shit. Oh, second to last on my list, we have The Locked Ward. I did write a review for this on my Instagram, so take your ass over there to read it if you want to know what I thought. I think I gave this like 3 stars or 4 stars. I don't know. I'm trying to look. Okay, I gave it 3 stars. I gave it 3 stars. It started off really, really creepy. The chapters for me just didn't pack enough punch. Like, I wanted more. Something was missing. I don't know. Read my thoughts on Instagram. We're gonna move on. We're gonna wrap this up. And the last story I read is There's Always Hope by Johnny Sherry. Now this is the last book so far in the Heartbreak You series. So I'm done with the series until she writes her last 2 books for the 2 characters that she hasn't written on. And yeah, the story was okay. It was good to catch up with my girls and see what they was doing and seeing everything that they were going through. This book had a lot of shocking moments, a lot of moments where I was like, oh my God, like what the heck? Hope was really just trying to find herself and step into womanhood in this book. And I can't say too much, because if I say too much about the story, it's going to give away book 1 and 2 of the Heartbreak You series. So we ain't doing that, because I really want y'all to read the Heartbreak You series book 1 and 2. But just know I gave this 4 stars, so I enjoyed it. Anywho, that was a lot. 14 books in 1 month is crazy. I don't know what July is gonna look like, but I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know your favorite book from June. It don't matter if you only read 1 book, 20 books, 2 books, 3 books. What was your favorite book? Now, if you didn't read any books in June, that's fine. What was the favorite show you watched in June? What was your favorite meal you made? What was your favorite activity? Just something that made you smile in the month of June. Or, like I always say, you can leave me a little emoji, a little heart or something, a little swan in the chat or something. I don't know. But yes, I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.